Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back to this fine day. Look at that, not a single cloud in the sky. Oh well, okay, let's ignore those here. Let's just say it's a very sunny day and a very warm day at that. And Scanlan, my ordinary metropolis, is alive. That is a great thing. And it's growing. And of course we want to continue with that. So in the last episode, well, we made the foundation for a few more industrial boosts. One of them is Braggard, an island that we conquered with a very unhappy farmer population right now. They definitely would like to have something like, for example, a pub. Let's provide this for them. Braggart, of course, has one really nice purpose for us, and that is it gets 2 coal deposits. We also have some hops and grapes here. Not really that much that I need, but the 2 coal deposits I definitely want to get. And let's build both of them right away. With that, we will receive a bit of a negative workforce there. However, we can also now, with the workload that is coming in, boost those farmers to workers then right away. We got 220 farmers here. I think just for the sake of it, let's have a few more buildings here so that it doesn't look so empty. But other than that, Braggart is really just a small mining village, we can call it that. And that's just really it, right? Nothing else here. In the middle of the map. So it is surrounded by the Admiral over there, Alonso over there, and also the pirate that we can see in the distance here, actually right next to us. Yeah, and with the workload coming in, we can finally upgrade those people. And let's just go ahead and have us these blocks here in the center being upgraded, and that's already all the timber that I can muster for now. Leading to a population surplus of 40 workers there. There will still be a few moving in now, so another mine would be possible. We could even go with the second mine if I want to. Providing some more workload, of course. Langostine, though, is having a new purpose now, and that is a trade route. So we need to decide where this coal goes for. Destro is, I think, not that bad on the coal side anymore. So it's actually climbing a bit. By the way, there's a smaller attack somewhere. I think it's just... Oh yeah, Alonso passing by. And Scanlan, however, does need more coal. The reason for that is in Scanlan, we do have our filament production. Down here it is with the engineers that we're working. And I might actually consider moving the filament over to Destro. We will be able to get the Commute Pier up and running soon. So let's do this. Yeah, let's have Langostine delivering from Braggard to Destro. Even though Destro is already quite good with coal now, we will need more coal there in the future, right? So Langostine, there you go. And the new trade route has been established with that. It's looking good here traffic-wise, so we'll not need to worry about that pier. Or a second pier, even though I think, yeah, we could easily build one then over there as well, or next to this one. Next up on the list, what I can see is in Destro. It's not looking that great when it comes to workforce, so I definitely will need to provide a bit more workforce. Over here we have the marketplace, so I might consider having this one like so. And of course the police station gets a bit of a... perhaps an alley or something like that. I'm usually not doing this in smaller islands, but it's just fitting to use it here, really. And of course a few more over there as well. I think upgrading would be possible too. We should definitely consider this, as I do need those workers. Let's go ahead, and with that at least the workers are positive. That is a bit more important than the farmers, because the workers are used in the furnaces, and those we need for a whole bunch of things, while the farmers only really work for my farms, and we don't have the highest demand in that area anymore. By the way, this is also just a really nice transition that Anno 1800 shows, right from a farmer agricultural population up to the industrial population, as the growth is steadily going upwards. And people are getting more sophisticated, they have more sophisticated needs, and we don't need the lower products anymore that often. I think that is a really nice showcase of how the system works in general, right? So my investors, by the way, they don't want anything to do with schnapps anymore, for example. Now, speaking about my investors in Scanlan, the first thing I would like to do here is upgrading my large trading post to the tier 4 Grand trading post, the biggest one. I think this marks the beginning of our great Scanlan metropolis. The other thing is, we should reinforce some of those productions that we have here. One of them is coffee, for example. As I will upgrade to more investors soon, we should also watch out that we have those goods delivered. That is, for example, here now my caoutchouc. that we can go ahead with. I could even boost this a bit, I think. Yeah, it's fine. Instead of boosting, we might also just provide a few more plantations, to be honest. I think this is the better way of doing this. So we have lots of space here. And then this plantation there as well. All the way here to the river then. And upgrading those warehouses, nah, that's not really necessary as they don't provide that many goods there anyway.
Workforce shortage.
Just a bit more timber that I will really need. Unfortunately, I think I will have to use actually one of my ships of the line. So I really need to get this straight, and let's get it over there to Piratello, getting the planks over. Another thing is my sugarcane that is in Ponte Salgada. We do have enough sugarcane production now, more than my charter route can handle, I think. So this is something. We got 150 tons here. Is it because we're full? Yes, we are full in Piratello. So not only will I need to provide a bit more storage now, we will be able to do this here. Let's just see that we make this one a bit more equal though, or even, so that it makes more sense for me to build then the next pier then here somewhere next to it, right? And let's build those 4 to provide a bit more storage, which is needed for the higher volume. I will also consider, since we are full with sugarcane, consider a few more rum distilleries, right? Let's go ahead and build us 3 more. We will need another lumberjack hut because of that. 90% efficiency is fine, plus a warehouse here as well, boosting my rum production ever so slightly. Regarding coffee, since we're in the area and money is no problem, let's build us 4 more coffee plantations. We also have, by the way, the Honolera's workforce, so that is fine. And together with that, 2 more coffee roasters here as well, leading to a slight deficit now, but it's just a slight deficit, and we easily can fix this one. And I upgrade a few more here, there you go, and here a few more, right, as we have, of course, the basic needs here. Leading to a perfectly balanced coffee production now. However, it's only perfectly balanced, so I will need to provide more coffee. I'm boosting my coffee plantations with that by, let's make it 50%. We can do this without losing too much happiness. We got the police station here too, close by, that is doing the job. And for the obreros, we have a couple of options available. Either we boost their happiness and boost them with their workforce as well, or we're just building a few more coffee roasters. I think I'm going with more coffee roasters, as space is not the biggest problem right now. Let's go ahead and just upgrade us a bunch over here as well. And then get us some 4 more coffee roasters on the way. I think this one here will need a few more fields though. There you go, all as well. And a few more tiny upgrades. We have 250 more Honoleros available. Up there, I actually like to keep farmers for now. So let's just make the whole core city obreros. And as we can see, balanced workforce now, leading to a total production of 24 in Narubi. And when we compare this with Scanlan, we do have now a surplus of 7. 3 clippers will not be enough anymore, so let's also put Sovereign, a new clipper, on this trade route here as well. 4 of them should do the trick. In the busy harbor of Scanlan, let's continue with building a few more clippers. 2 more I will definitely need. And Independence just left the wharf, ready for action. Also, since we're in the area and I'm in the mood for it, let's go ahead and upgrade a few more people to investors. Those guys here, and then also here in the back of it, and also here closer to that oil tower. That's quite a lot of upgrades. Don't forget, we do need 5,000 for the highest tier of World Fair, so I will still need to go ahead and upgrade a few more of these guys. Also, we need room for a members club. I haven't decided yet where. We might actually replace it with a marketplace. So, yep, I think this marketplace here is no longer needed. Let's get rid of that. The same goes with the roads. This leads to a lot of space that we have here in the center. Just enough for a members club. And look at that. This entrance here is just coming in from that street. I love that. Nice coincidence, and we can use it here. It's not totally central, but it's still fine, as the members club has a huge range, as we can see, and the whole central city is deep green. And I don't intend to build any more investors anywhere else on this map. It's just here in this core city, and for that reason, that is fine. Let's build it, and it should also make a nice difference on the balance, as it is. Also, happiness for investors provided. I just love the location of this, really. It's a nice, discreet, hidden club somewhere here in the streets of Scanlan. With that out of the way, let's build a few more investors around the members club. Here, not that many artisans because I think we're going to need a few of them soon. There we have it, and this leads to 4-8. So if I just provide one more good like champagne, cigars or chocolate, we'll definitely breach the 5,000. Newspaper, please give me something positive. Nope, absolutely not. Rum shortage gives me 10% consumption increase again. But the war successes that we had leads to a negative riot chance. So there will be not a single riot in the next period of newspapers. Another thing we should actually focus right away is my next production, which would be the steam motors. We're going to need them not only for battleships if I build them, we definitely will need them for the warfare. So in that case here, the motor assembly line is a huge building. It requires electricity, a lot of engineer workforce and a lot of resources, plus also 1,800 credits on the maintenance cost. Pretty high. Let's just check what we can replace it with. I think the canned food is optimal for this. As we're upgrading more people to investors, we do not need that much canned food anymore, right? So that means I can definitely get rid of these 2 blueprints here. I'm not going to get rid of a cannery yet, but I think we're going for that at some point. And let's try to squeeze in one of these factories here. And as I also can see, we definitely have a bit too much road here. So I think if I do it like that, we should be golden. I could also, something very strange I did here. We don't need that strange layout anymore since, you know, I don't need these canneries here anymore. So let's just make it a straight line here from the power factory. Unfortunately, this game is not that great at making connections over streets, so we need to do this manually like so. And with that, we will be able now to squeeze in another motor assembly line and even a second one close by. There you go. And the first motor assembly line we can already place. And with that, have another production finished. It does require steel, which we hopefully have a bit still left, and brass. Now brass is something that we had equal up to this point, so in order for this to get up, we will need to boost. I'm not that worried about riots at this point, so 50% boost for the brass is fine, and with that we should actually meet the requirements. There it is, 5 to 5. And without having to build any further factories or any additional factories, that is. However, steel-wise, we might actually run into pickle here. 33 tons we need per minute. And in Destro, we are producing right now 56. So we have a surplus of 14, 10 to 14, fluctuating a bit wildly here. However, I think transportation will be the main culprit here. I do have 2 clippers on this right now. But it's only 1 clipper each, right? Here, for example, we can see that this one is delivering the full 50 tons already. So it is more than it's capable of. The second one is my Schnapps trader. This one still has some capacity left over, right? As it's only transporting 46 tons. So that means we still have another 54 tons of room available on this ship. So no more clipper that we need for the moment. Now the time is finally right for first a Commute Pier. We can afford it at this point. Influence is not really the problem. It's just the 1,000 maintenance cost that we have to pay for each one of them. But I think we can afford this at well now. Now let's just see where we can actually place it in. My favorite port would be right here in the center instead of the shipyard. Now the shipyard is something that we can easily also just use somewhere else. Where it also makes sense. It doesn't cost me that much, so it's really negligible. And let's just go ahead and place it then some over there. Perhaps I can still squeeze in another depot so that this is looking a bit more connected. However, that is not possible, unfortunately. So I will really just need to go ahead and place our shipyard somewhere here. Let's make the connection then too with my harbor authorities. And I think here we just also make that connection complete. And with that, we can get rid of it and build us that Commute Pier right here into the center of it all. Let's go ahead and also make the connection. Make this one harbor area, as we can see. And with that, the first one is finished. The second one needs to be in Desro then, of course. And in Desro, we do have more space, of course. I could have it over here by the pier, but I think we're going with a few more piers, right? And the fisheries I probably could have... No, not really, somewhere else. We do have a bit of space over there. I would actually like to move them over because we are going to need that space in the main harbor area for something else as well soon. So let's go ahead and just get us a few of these fishermen going. This should work out. Perfect. There you go. Can we still squeeze in another one? Perfect. And then another warehouse here for those guys. And with that, we can get rid of those 4 fishermen. Absolutely not required anymore, and get us in another commute pier, that is. We do need a free coast. Oh, steel beams. There we have them, and let's build the commute pier over here. Reason for that is we can have another pier then here as well, which we're probably going to need. And also another thing I would like to do then is my sand production here as well. As we can see, workforce is shared now. Happiness not so much, but the workforce is the one that we are aiming for here, to have finally engineers and artisans on this row as well. Now you'll see why we need the beach area, because here we have a space for the sand mines. Now with the sand mines, we would also be able to do this in Swanell, I think, but we don't have that many workers here anymore. And I certainly don't want to get any more commute piers out, because every one of them costs me 1,000 on the maintenance. I think Meanho also has some beach areas, but we will not need that much as they're producing 2 per minute. We're fine with a bunch of them, right? So let's just go ahead and make this one here complete. I think we should be able, to connect them here just fine. And then another one and another one. And that's already 8 tons of sand in addition. And with that, we just need some glass makers now. They will cost me some artisan workforce. We don't really have that many artisans anymore. But I do have my glass makers in Scanlon. So either I move them over. I think that is actually the way to go for me. So we have the glass makers here. And we could just get them over. How many do we have? 2, I think. Yep, 2. 2 is easily replaceable, and we can have them also here in this area where we have then at some point, well, power. You know what? We can actually now get the power in because we got the engineers. I totally forgot about that. So let's go ahead and get us that power plant out. Now I could of course cut this whole section out and pretend like this was planned all along, but you also need to see sometimes what a burp I am. And of course this was not planned, so the coincidence is of course we can now use the electrical power plant with a bit of oil that we produce in this room. By the way, I will need to activate my oil refinery again. We can do this. So let's just unload the resources that we need. With that, we can now build those 4 glass makers here. They're getting boosted with electricity. So one more thing I will need to provide is probably a bit more glass. By the way, can we have another warehouse here? That should be fine. And then I'm going ahead with 2 more. We probably can squeeze in even more here if I want to. There's another one into the harbor area of Destro, and then there's another one here. That's going to be golden because we of course need twice as much as we can need, right? Because the glass maker consumes every 30 seconds, so 1 to 1. However, the glass maker is boosted, so we'll need to provide this a bit further. You know what? Before I make the terrible mistake of actually building the fisheries, let's have it replaced with the sand mines, because of course the sand mines can be boosted by electricity, and thus I don't need that many of them because we can just produce twice as much out of that. Let's also go ahead and upgrade my warehouse here for the occasion, because it's going to get quite busy here, even though we have the glass makers then close by as well. Now let's build all 4 of them, right? And then we are building the sand mines in addition. Don't forget, they're getting boosted, so I will also not need that many sand mines here, right? Let's reduce 2, and I will however still need to get the fishermen out there, and this is then the space that we have in this area. Just jolly good. Let's go ahead and have us a bunch of them. Wait a second, this making it like that should work. Yep, like that it's possible. And then we can... Nope, this is also not possible. Then let's have us another fisherman here instead. And how much fish do we need anyway? 13. Actually, that's quite a lot. We produce like 2 of them with each, so we do need 7 at least. And there we go, 7 fisheries. Let's build all of them here as well, together with that warehouse. I'm not able to squeeze in anything else here. Here we could actually have another one, but that's it. So we do have the 7 now in that area working. We could also just slightly boost them so that we have a slight surplus of fish, and that's it. And let's upgrade that warehouse here as well. Those guys are fine now. We will now be able to build that power plant. Let's do this. And by the way, since we have now finished the glass makers and we're boosting them, let's get rid of the glass makers here, plus the sand mines here as well. Saving us a bit of space in Scanlan, and also a bit of workforce again. By the way, we got 600 workers. I might consider upgrading just a tiny few of them, like this, to get a positive balance out of the artisans again. What is going on with you? They want a school. We don't have a school close by. There is a school, but we don't have a paved road close by. So what we can do here is, that is a new feature. Some of you have already been pointing it out. We can just upgrade now the roads like this, right? Boom. And all of them have been upgraded with paved roads. Love that feature. Has been needed a long time. I would have loved this feature for my Megacity series. It would have saved me a lot of time. Now, these workers have now the full school coverage. Even though I think this is feudal work. We'll just see. Let's go ahead and have a look at my electricity. By now, all of them are being bumped with power. That means I theoretically don't need the 50% on the furnaces anymore. Let's get rid of that and save us a lot of unhappiness there. So we have a happy bunch of workers again. I can still go ahead and have a few more furnaces here in the center of it all. And this is also all now being boosted. Hooray! That's going to be a nice bump in production. 16 glass now. Comparing that to Scanlan, we have a very good... Actually, we don't have a surplus at all. We have still -1 on the glass. So I will probably need to boost... Oh, I'm not going to boost them here. I will just provide a second glass make or another glass maker and be done with it. Let's also have that sand mine here. And in that case, I will still need to upgrade a few more workers now, once again. They're very tight now here on the budget, by the way, on my workforce. We will also need a few of them, of course, for the World Fair. So I need to watch out for that. Some attacks in the New World don't bother us that much, at least not for now. It's just the Admiral here fighting with Alonso. And even the occasional explosion right in the middle of my industrial area does not make me sweaty at all, does it? No, absolutely not. We will feel the repercussions of that, though, pretty soon, as the sewing machines will be running out, most likely. Let's get some more building materials over. That's the important thing. There remains the task of actually getting the glass from Destro to Scanlan. Another trade route, hooray. There's absolutely no way I can do this with one of the trade routes that we already have. And... independent, you can go for this. I'm going to leave one spot available for something that we might need on the way here, because I think it's Scanlan. Wait a second. No, we are also out of ore, so in that case I will not be able to provide. Are we really out of ore? I do have 2 iron mines. Do I have... I mean, I'm getting it over to Destro. Yeah, we only have a slight surplus here. Still because of the canneries that we have in the area consuming the iron ore. How's it, by the way, looking with my sewing machine, with my steam motors? We're producing now 1 per minute, of course. And we already should have, yeah, 40 tons available. Perfect. That is a good balance. That is something we're going to need soon. So far, so good. Scanlan is still existing, even though fluctuations are there. And we continue onwards. Stay tuned.